Hi, Erik Linask here at Interop in Las Vegas. I'm chatting now with Nancy Ridge from Telcombrokers. Nancy, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for asking me.
We're heading into the second half of day two. How's the show been? What are you seeing?
We're really excited to be here. It's been a great show. And what we're seeing that is so fantastic is all the new technologies that everyone's talking about, the new direction with cloud computing, with Wi-Fi, with the telco solutions. It really complements our business model at Telcombrokers.
So that then begs the question, what is that business model?
Well, Telcombrokers is an agency of professionals. We've been in business since 1998, and we represent over 35 vendors or phone companies as their sales and distribution channel. So we provide the network piece that powers all these great products and applications that we're seeing here at the show.
So what kind of people come to you looking for different products, different services?
Really everyone. Our customers range from even wholesale providers. Some of the carriers will come to us to get choices, as well as the enterprise, medium businesses, and so forth. But we also support the VAR community as well, because we can really collaborate with them to allow them to bring more value to their customer. It's interesting, one of the articles that I read recently talked about some research that the IPED did on the VAR community and said that over 9% had saw a drop in their business in this past year already. And Telcombrokers can really add to the value that they can bring to their customers with the choice and the carrier choice and the solutions that we can bring to the table alongside them.
So what benefits does working with Telcombrokers versus some of the other channels that are available out there offer to your customers?
Well, one of the things that's really great is we bring the knowledge, the experience, and the choice at no cost to the end user. And as I mentioned with the VAR, it can actually augment their revenue stream. But the real benefit is in those relationships, because the carriers that we represent are carefully chosen, and those relationships are nurtured all the way up to the CEO level in many cases. So we can really leverage those relationships so that the customer doesn't have to deal with some of the common problems that you have bringing the network piece into implementing these solutions. A lot of times working with the phone company is the fly in the ointment in these projects, and we really take that out of it and actually make it successful and fun.
So when you talk about the different phone companies that you work with, there's an awful lot of competing products from those various vendors.
Right.
How are you able to manage that, ensure that you don't that there isn't or even a perceived bias towards one or another?
It's a great question. The way we do that is really just by, number one, remaining as objective as we possibly can be. We do really appreciate all of our vendors, but at the end of the day, we have our integrity on the line to service the end user. So we're going to listen very carefully to what their requirements are relative to cost, relative to perhaps contract flexibility, and the particular project itself. So really all carriers, even though they may offer similar products, are not created equal.
So really though, there's got to be a pretty high level of trust between you and the carriers, just as there is between you and the end user.
There is. The carriers know that we're committed to put them with the right customers as well. The last thing that anyone wants in a collaboration is to be in a position where they're not in a win-win scenario. So when we talk about collaborating with the end user, the vendor, and the VAR, it really means finding those fits that really hit the sweet spot of each individual provider, and the carriers like that too.
So when it comes to fitting together the right carrier with the right customer, what is the most important thing for you guys?
I think the most important thing is really just listening very carefully to what the requirements are on the end user side, and then applying the knowledge that we have. For example, there are always things happening out there in the industry that can potentially affect the success of a project. So if there's a merger or an acquisition going on with a particular provider, or maybe a significant change in leadership at the top, that might take that particular provider out of the running for a project for a while until things kind of settle down, so that risk of their transition isn't brought into the project that we're involved in making recommendations on.
Which then actually brings up another great question. So if you've got a provider like that you do work closely with, who's in a situation like that, how do you handle that?
Well, we really just try to communicate with them as best we can what is the bare minimum that's needed in terms of service and support to keep them active in our portfolio. And we do our best to work with the top management people, whether it's in the customer service team or the provisioning side, to communicate that on a daily basis, to set those expectations and do everything we can to help them win and meet those expectations.
Excellent. We've been talking here at Interop in Las Vegas with Nancy Ridge from Telcombrokers. Nancy, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Have a great show.
Thank you.